So talking about favorite tools, I would say that probably one of the most used and important tools is my flexible shaft. And I tend to like Fordham out of habit and quality. And I like the kind with the reverse option on it. Please note, I also have a micromotor, which does slightly different things than a standard flexible shaft. And these colors here that they come in, that was my idea. And Fordham took off with it. And the point of that is that you can color code the flex shafts that you use and the foot pedals. So I have 4 to 5 flex shafts so that I don't have to waste time changing tools. I just change the handpiece, and if I look down, I can see the color that matches the stripe on the handpiece. And so under flex shafts, there are literally hundreds and hundreds of specific tool options for specific problems. My favorite one is probably a separating disc. And so separating discs are made of silicon carbide, my favorite, also carborundum, which in my experience is a little softer. And these grits are bonded with epoxies. And so silicon carbide has a hardness of 9.5. So it will cut steel like butter, and it'll cut into quartz, no problem. And it'll even cut ruby and sapphire, which you don't want to do. However, it is a remarkable tool, and in my mechanical devices class, I used to just look at the students after a while and they'd go, separating disc, because you use it for almost every cut, and you use it for construction, for scoring and bending, for all kinds of things. The second primary flexible shaft tool I like is a split mandrel. And a regular split mandrel, when you buy it, they're too long. And so the first thing you do when you get the split mandrel is you cut 1/3 off the end immediately, because otherwise they're too heavy and they bend into an L shape like a propeller and they take your knuckles out. And so anything heavy in the flex shaft, you need to get it closer in to the jaws.
This series is sponsored by MJSA member Rio Grande. For even more jewelry conversation, be sure to check out Rio Grande's podcast, For the Love of Jewelers. Each month, Rio's cast of expert hosts from Rio Grande's jewelry tech team chat with industry leaders, jewelers, educators, and more as they tell their stories and talk shop. Ideal for anyone interested in jewelry. You'll gain valuable insights, discover new tools and processes, and enjoy a laugh or two along the way. Listen to For the Love of Jewelers podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, or on Rio Grande's website at www.riogrande.com. Search podcasts.
My next favorite tool has to do with measurement, and it's this. I like an old school vernier caliper. I can drop this on the floor and it's still fine. And if the batteries die, well, there aren't any, so there's no problem there. And the vernier caliper, I use this constantly. And so, first of all, you can read one of these old school ones to 3 decimal points if you know how to read the vernier scale, which is remarkably accurate for 90% of goldsmithing purposes. And it has several parts. It measures outside diameter. It measures inside diameter. Oh, and by the way, whatever here transfers to here and transfers to the end. And so this allows you to measure depth. And this tool, I would say, is a most used tool.